Hello there. After a nice quiet Easter break, our politicians will return to their Westminster bubble today and get back to the task of trying to find a way to overturn the 2016 EU referendum vote. Today is St George's Day, and it is also the day that politicians return to Westminster refreshed from their Easter break to get on with their avowed task of dismantling the United Kingdom and handing it over to the European Union. Those few politicians fighting for our return to a properly democratic and sovereign nation are met with fierce opposition on two fronts. Firstly, the ardent Remainers amongst the ranks of our elected and unelected politicians across both Houses of Parliament will continue to place roadblock after roadblock in front of our exit from the EU to try and keep us in as full members. And secondly, Theresa May and her cronies are still set on trying to crowbar us into a treaty of surrender that would see the UK become a mere colony of the European Union. And in the meantime, control over our defence and security forces is being quietly surrendered to Brussels for nothing. In fact, it seems to be costing us money and our sovereignty to do it. On top of that, none of those MPs or Lords appear to give a damn. Theresa May will also have her own internal battles to fight as she comes under pressure from those within her own party who are preparing to change their own party rules so they can get her in front of an early vote of no confidence and so lever her out of number 10. That's while she's also trying to form a pact with the Jeremy Corbyn Labour Party to try and find a way of getting her rotten vassalage withdrawal agreement treaty through to ratification. But with only 29 days to go before the EU parliamentary elections, that would now seem an almost impossible task. And then there's those pesky local council elections in 9 days' time on the 2nd of May, which could well see the Tories lose a shed-load of council seats as well as control over some councils. But most of those politicians will be extremely pleased that the UK is now going to hold European elections, as this is the most surefire way of ensuring that the UK remains within the EU. Without those elections, the UK would no longer be a full member of the EU. Without those elections, the UK would either be an EU colony under Theresa May's withdrawal agreement vassalage treaty, or the UK would have left on World Trade Organisation terms. That is why the vast majority of our MPs and Lords were so happy to go off on an Easter break. They know that they now have several months to continue their manoeuvrings to keep the UK in the EU. They achieved what they really wanted to achieve, which was convincing people that holding those elections was a necessity, and the press of course played along with it. Holding those elections also means that Theresa May's treaty can now be voted down, and there is no rush to do anything other than make sure we are still in the EU and have held those elections as the new EU parliamentary term commences on the 2nd of July. Now, the establishment knows that the two main parties will get a kicking in the MEP elections, so it looks like they've stuffed their lists with Remainers, possibly hoping that between them and the Lib Dems, SNP, Plaid and the Greens, they can get a sizable number of pro-EU MEPs into the EU Parliament to offset the likes of UKIP. And it will be these pro-EU MEPs that will be assisting the EU, whenever possible, in signing off anything that can permanently hand over powers to the EU over the next few months. Something they can now do as we no longer seem to have the protection of the 2011 European Union Act that would have forced a referendum prior to handing over any new powers to the Eurocrats. Those anti-Brexit MEPs will be looking to insert every excuse that can be found to further extend the Article 50 process, and will also be using any influence they have to try and engineer a full revocation of the Article 50 process to get the UK back permanently into the EU. The next few weeks will definitely prove interesting, so stay tuned. Finally, Just a reminder that this Thursday, the 25th of April, is Anzac Day. This is the day we remember with thanks those soldiers from the Australia and New Zealand Army Corps, ANZAC, who sacrificed their lives on the Gallipoli Peninsula during the first major military action fought by Australian and New Zealand forces during the First World War. Anyway, please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.